I'm going to call the database my moodle. It automatically puts in the name in front of your database for you. So the database name becomes all of that. Go to the next step. I need a user name. This is the user account that will connect to the database, so I'm just going to call it show my moodle. Just for the exercise of this, I'll grab a password or generate a password. I've now got a password in there. I'm going to choose create user, create that account, select all privileges so that this user account, so I've got user and the database name. I would grab a copy of that now just so you've got that stored somewhere else, because we're going to use that user and the database name in just a moment. We're also going to use that password that we created just a moment ago as well, so don't lose that either. Choose make changes. We are now back at the main screen of cPanel. So what we've done so far is we have downloaded the zip file of Moodle, we've created a subdomain, we've uploaded the compressed file, got everything ready to go, so now it's a case of starting the actual Moodle install process. To do that, all we need to do is go to the subdomain that we created. In this case it is mymoodle.ricochet.com.au is the site that we created, or the subdomain we created. If we go straight to that in a web browser, it then asks us to go through the install process. So choose your language, that bit's fine, we go next. It needs to confirm path, so this is where it decides where it's storing the data. And I'm just going to, I like to keep, if I've got multiple Moodle servers, Moodle builds on the same server, I create a new Moodle data folder. So I'm just going to call this my Moodle, Moodle data my Moodle, just to keep it as a separate folder. We'll go next. And we need to know what type of SQL database we're running on here. In this case, on cPanel, mine is actually a MariaDB. So I'll choose that first off rather than have to change it later. If yours is MySQL, then that's fine if it's native MySQLi. Or if you're using Postgres as well, you may want to use that instead, it's up to you. MariaDB is the one I'm using on this server. The next screen takes us to the settings that we need. So we need a database name. That's our database name, ricochet_mymoodle. A database user, which in this case is actually the same name. Normally you probably wouldn't do that, but I did in this case. Probably create a different user, make it more unique. Password, we need to put in there for the database, so you should have kept a record of that when you created that earlier. We choose next. It will confirm all about the copyright, so we need to confirm that, and we understand them. It will then go through and tell us whether everything is correct. If there's any issues, if there is any issues, you may need to go into the PHP settings in cPanel and add some of these extensions in that may not exist. I believe Sodium might not have been in there initially. I think there might have been a couple of others. MBstream probably was, but may not have been. So you may need to go into the PHP settings and add some of those in. So we'll just go continue, and that will run through the install process, where it will go through and install all the database tables, everything else needed for the database to run. While it's doing that, just jump back into cPanel and scroll down to PHP. If I go into PHP version, I can go to extensions, and then I can go through the list for the current version of PHP that I'm using, which you may have had to change or may not. But you can go in there and you can choose MBstring, which may have been missing. Sodium, I think, was missing when I first installed it on this server. I think the majority of the others might have been there. I know GD used to be missing, but and you may need to add in the database MySQLi or whatever you're using to read the database as well. So that's where you can go in and add those settings, those extensions, to put them in for the current version of PHP that you're using for this installation. Well, let's jump back to our installation. And you can see it's installed all of these tables and it says success, so we just go continue. We need to create a username. I'll leave it as default admin for this exercise, but you should change that to whatever your administrator username is. You need to put in a password different than your database password. This is the login password, so get this correct and keep a copy of it. For how you log into Moodle when you first log in, you'll need to put in your email address as well. It's a required field as well as the password. Put in there. Fill in the rest of the details if you have them. Then choose update profile. So we need to put a full site name in. My Moodle, just as a single word. This can be a full site name. Click Save Changes. Support email is required, so I'll just put mine in there and save changes. You can also register, and if you read through the description as to why you might want to register for your site with the Moodle listing as well, you can do that. I'm going to skip that at this stage, so skip, and that's it. That's all I had to do to connect and set everything up. Now, when I say that's it, there's actually one last task we have to do, and that is we need to set up the cron task that runs in the background in cPanel to make sure that any of the tasks that run as part of Moodle are set up. So let's go back into cPanel. You'll see in advanced there's an option called cron jobs. In the cron jobs, all you need to do is choose once per minute, which is when it would be run, so that's an asterisk in each one of these. The command that you'll need to put in is based on where PHP lives on your server. On a standard cPanel server, it will be this location, but it may be different for you in that this is user local bin PHP home my server name, so that's not the URL but the actual server that you're living on, and you need to check your cPanel settings to know what that is. Then the subdomain, so in our case that was mymoodle.ricochet.com.au, then admin CLI cron. Once we've done all that, we just select add new cron, and that's all we have to do, and it should all be working. Now we're going to test that to make sure the cron works, and then we're out of here and all done. To check that the cron is running, all we have to do is go back into our Moodle server, go to site administration, type in tasks as our search, scroll right to the bottom and choose scheduled tasks. Then all we need to do is just check that there is a last run date, and that last run date is obviously the same as what the current date and time is, or close to it. And if it says never all the way down there in that column that says last run, which says never, then that means the cron still isn't running and there is a problem with it, and you need to go back and fix that up back in that cron setting in cPanel. Otherwise, as long as it's showing you that there are some crons being run or cron tasks being run, then everything's good and you are right to get on with using your new Moodle server. So congratulations, that's awesome, well done. Any issues, make some comments down below if you need to, happy to help out. Otherwise, check out the courses that we have for you at courses.ricochet.com.au, and I'll see you in the next video.
Cái này làm là thế nào? Giờ mình chạy lại không báo lỗi thế nào nào? Config à? Đây, config chứ này. Đây.
Trong cái config này anh đổi hết lại đi. Anh đổi lại cái tên database name. Nhưng nào anh cái không đổi.
Có
database name, database mật khẩu. Được chưa?
thì tháo tung máy rồi.
Nhưng mà nó bị sao?
Hả? Ở bị sao?
Được chưa?
Chưa. Tháo tung máy rồi.
Thế thì bài cứ lẹ.
Xong rồi, xếp để xong rồi.
Anh sửa chưa?
Mà
Sửa xong hết rồi gì cơ?
mà
Rồi
cái
anh
làm
bài
sao này?
mút đồ chấm đấy. Đến giả nó không nhiều giật khổ vậy đâu.
Ok, đúng không?
Mình không sửa được trong đây, mình sửa trong file config không có nhận.
Ừ.
Thì hết mạng.
Đây, là cái cơ chế này thì nó kích mạng đến cái dây ấy, nó đến cái đầu ấy, nó đến xong nó phản hồi không đúng không?
Đúng rồi.
Giống kiểu cái điện nó kích của đây.
Thế nó kiểu bắt
Những phát này là xong rồi đúng không?
xong rồi. Rồi đất đấy, rồi này xịt đất.
Cộng giống kim cái tính mạng
Bao nhiêu? Mình 25 dây cổ. Nó đã bao giờ đắt như thế đâu, mưa rưỡi lắm, cái củ bao giờ rẻ.
thế bây giờ bao nhiêu?
Chắc bảo nó rẻ 3 lít.
3 lít thôi.
Nhưng mà có mua là con vứt tờ ấy, nó là cái gì đâu. Có mua là con chuyển đổi từ game ra qua đang 7 lít. Đi nó đắt ở cái vị trí nào? Nó mua là cái chuyển đổi từ quan làm cái gì đâu mà nó đắt.
Cái này để check mạng. Check mạng.
Không được cái tờ thôi.
Cái này check có mạng không ấy. Đứt dây đứt trước ở đâu? Cái đấy mấy chục triệu, cho con đứt giò dây ấy. Ông thầy bảo chứ mấy chục triệu này con. Cái giò cái gì? Cái giò dây âm tường rồi gì?
Dây em tưởng cắm hai đầu rồi đầu gì?
Thì cái giò rồi.
To nó dây nó đứt này, nó không mở tín hiệu của dây đấy thôi thì là cái dây đấy nó đứt, còn biết đứt ở đâu thì mà tải cái máy siêu nhiên.
Thế mình biết đứt ở đâu thì mình nói. Đứt ở đâu đứt đúng không?
Dây mạng cần gì mua cái máy đấy, dây mạng đứt hay là xây mới.
Quan trọng là cái dây nó đi trong tường rồi, bây giờ dây mới đi âm bên ngoài đi trần.
Đi trần.
Người ta
Chưa
không đi
đi
bên
trần đi.
người ta không đi tại dây âm cũ.
Quy nó
và LUT sinh viên nó mở mạng trơn lắm thế ạ.
LT mua đẹp cao lắm, chéo cả sợ ngã.
Bao nhiêu người dùng.
Ê vừa không mới hôm qua thì mình mọi cái đồ xong rồi bây giờ chỉ việc ngồi chơi ngồi chơi vậy mà mất 60 chục. Lỗi gì vậy?
Không chắc được. Mình ghi Mister.
Trời ơi, từ đường giờ có tổ vào gửi xe mà ra gửi xe, tổ vào đi vào cũng đi ra. Tiền ai lắm, mình muốn lắm nhưng
Mút đồ bắt buộc nó sẽ có cái kiểu cái sắp ở trên đầu à? Là mút đồ chấm à?
Không, tao tạo
Đến
mất làm gì cái này?
À cái server của mày còn đang server của mày đấy.
Làm ơn cho anh test thôi.
chế lại được. Lúc vào
Đại học tí nhiều thì ra hai lần. Đấy mà đưa giá anh hơn cái cho 50.
thằng kêu
Anh cái gì ơn nghĩa gì đúng không anh?
tiền gì